Don't start. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron. I own an embroidery business called Garcia's Goods where I make just mostly embroidered apparel. And today I want to take you through a little bit of a tour / tutorial of Embrilliance. Embrilliance is an embroidery software program. It's super easy and affordable when you're trying to create or use embroidery files that you have purchased from somebody else, like Etsy or something. I love it. I use it every single day. I want to take you through a little bit of a tutorial how to do a flower applique design. So this is really good for beginners, but if you are a professional, because I'm definitely not, and you know something better than me, leave a comment below. We'll all help each other out. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Also, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to help me out in my YouTube career. First things first, I'm gonna get really nice and small here, and you're gonna see me kind of show you my screen and getting into Embrilliance. Here is my Embrilliance, and this is just a little bit of a grid session that we've got going on here. Also, if I'm not looking at the camera, don't worry, it's because I'm looking at my screen, because I'm trying to focus for you guys, you know. All right, so getting right into it, where's my hoop? It's gone, so I'm gonna press H and bring my hoop back. There's a nice little keyboard shortcut for you right there. But I'm gonna get into trying to find the picture that I wanted to use. This is the one I want to use. I'm going to just copy and paste it into my hoop here. Now I can go ahead and tell you a few things about Embrilliance. Like I said, it's very user friendly. This is going to let you do a new page. Super simple. It's very similar to like Microsoft Office or, you know, Docs and all that kind of stuff. This is how you can open a specific stitch or working file. That just means an embroidery file, so it's not going to pull up your Word documents and all that kind of stuff. This is how you can save. If you want to print the design, this is your copy and your paste buttons here, your undo and your redo. Now this will show you, I don't have any stitches on here right now, but if I did, it would change some view options for me. You can see your stitches in 3D or not, and you can see the density map of the design. You can also use your magnifying tool here and it'll zoom in for you. I'm going to zoom back out. There's some more keyboard shortcuts within Embrilliance that makes it a lot more user-friendly, but I'm not going to go over too much of those today because I don't really remember them, to be honest. Your measuring tool, love that. Now this is your stitch simulator. If I had stitches on here or a design, it would take me through my stitches. I could press play and it would take me through them, and it will show you how to stitch. This is just your selection tool when you want to move stuff around, clicking on the picture and moving it around. Then this is your hoops section where you can make lots of edits and stuff. You can pick your different hoop size. Let's say I want to just do like let's see, like a 4x4. That's probably, yeah, this 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter. Now around here it does say the inches because I don't know millimeters, I know inches. It does say 4x4 right there. I just recently downloaded this onto my laptop, so I just don't have all the edits that I've made like I've made on my husband's computer. Great thing about Embrilliance is if you've downloaded it on somewhere else, you can just put in your, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but the number, your serial number or whatever, and you can re-download it onto your computer without any additional cost. We'll X off that. Now this is a very important button. This is your create button. See, it says create designs. This is where you could have put a picture in here. So let's say I wanted to click there, and if I had some pictures here or whatever that I wanted to use, I could import it like that. If you have some text that you want to do, this is really cool. All the fonts that you have on your laptop, you can just type something in and you'll use it like that. Like I said, this is a bit of a tour / tutorial. If you don't really care about the tutorial, you can probably skip ahead. This is where I'm going to draw. So this is how I will create my nodes and where I want my design to go, like my lines and all that kind of good stuff, my lines and my nodes. Then this is the type of stitches that I can do. Now the level that I have is, I think, the most simple one that they offer, but it's been really good for me so far. I think it's a great beginner-friendly embroidery design program that you could ever use, to be very honest with you. My foot's going to sleep. Let's get right into actually making the design. It's so simple, you guys. I promise it is. So my screen's nice and big. I like to go ahead and zoom in, and then if I want to move around on my screen, I just press the space bar and it turns into a hand where I can grab and move around and all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to create an outline of these petals. I'm actually probably going to connect them as a whole. I'm going to just do like an outline. I'm probably going to end up connecting all these with a satin border. I'm not going to go all the way on the inside. I don't know. I'll just show you. Let's just keep going. So this is my draw with points, and I'm going to start with the circle that we have here just because it's the easiest spot, and I'm going to press Z to zoom in. That's another nice little shortcut there. Z to zoom in, space bar to move around. Technically I could draw, and I'm just tapping one time, and you can see it's automatically doing these nice curved lines for me. You can do as many or as few points as you want. Then let's say I don't like that one, I want to back up. I'm going to press delete or backspace if you're on Windows or whatever. I'm on Mac, so some of my things may be different, but I'm going to delete because I don't like those. Then let's say I want to scrap it all together. I'll just press escape and it'll all go away. Let's say I'm stitching and I'm like, ooh, I really want a straight line here. All you have to do is press and hold control and it changes to a square. Boom, boom, boom. Then let's say I want to go back to curve. It'll go back to curve for me. I don't like it. I'm going to back all the way back up. So let's just keep going with our curve. Oh, I'm actually going to start all the way over because sometimes it does something weird. Many suggest, I don't like that one. I don't like how it did because I don't like to have to change the handles, which I'll show you that in a second. I don't like to have to change a bunch of stuff when I get done. So I like to do a few more nodes than some people do. Then I'm gonna go right here. This is my close, open, outline button. I'm gonna close it. And change, if you want it to curve, to cusp, to be a line. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what symmetric is. Align will just change it to where there's no Bezier handles or Bezier, hosier. These handles allow you to pivot and change the direction of these lines, and so that's really cool. Let's say it's just not perfect and I need this one to be more like that. Boom, I'm gonna make that one a little more like that. I'm actually gonna just fidget it a little bit. But there's lots of little things that you can change on here, and you just have to find what works for you, because it's your designs, whatever you think looks best. You're the artist. It may seem very confusing at first, but it's definitely something you just kind of have to work with it and figure out what works best for you. See, I don't really like how that's going in right there, so I'm just kind of extending it out as well as, putting it to the left a little bit, and I think it looks really nice. So now right now this is only a line, and it says right here artwork with no stitches. So right now technically we don't have any stitches, we just have a line. So I want to change this to a run stitch, because in applique you'll have 2 runs and then a satin border is commonly what you do at the very end to cover up the edges of the fabric. Within Embrilliance as well, you can set this up as an applique design. I don't like to do that. This is how I do it. This is a way to do it. It's just to do 2 runs and a satin border. I'm going to copy and paste. So now I have 2 runs. So the first run is where it shows you where your design is going to be, and the second run is where you will be able to tack down your stitches. I like how my mouse gets big like that. I think that's fun. I'm going to copy and paste again, and I'm going to change this. I'm going to go up here. This is satin border. I'm going to change it to a satin border. Sometimes this will kind of show you if your thing is a nice circle. Say I'm like, oh, I don't really like that. I wish I had an option to do a nice general circle. Well, look, up here in your drawing section, there are shapes that you can use, and here, by golly, is a circle. Now, it looks like you're not able to do anything, but you are. You're just going to click and drag. And I just went all the way to the edge of my little mouse, and it's okay though, because now you can change the shape of it. Look, I'm going to make it a little bit wider. I'm going to make it a little bit taller. So this is just like anything you would do in Microsoft. And that's why I like this program so much, because it's just so simple. It's still a line, so I'm going to go up and change it to a run. I'll copy and paste. I have 2 runs. I'm going to paste again, and I'm going to change it to satin border. And look how nice that looks. So use the tools that you have, One thing, I have my width at 3.5. You can make your width as much or as little as you want, but you do have to be aware of after you do your second run and you tack down your fabric, you got to cut off as much of that fabric as you can. And sometimes the bigger the satin border, the easier it makes for it to cover up the edge of those stitches. Another thing, this is where it's going to start stitching and this is where it's going to stop stitching. So I don't care because this is a circle anyway. If there's ever a time where you're like, ooh, I really don't want it to start right here, you just click it and you drag it and you move it to wherever you want it to move. Let's say you wanted it to start right at the top and you could put your stop down here. So you can put that wherever feels right to you. Okay, so that part is done. Another thing, if you want, you can press the arrow here and it'll show you what you've got. If you want to hide it, you can put it away. I want these to be different colors, so I'm going to go here. All I did was click on it. Show you again. We're going to go to color and I want to change it. Let's just do green. I just like to do that so that my machine separates the steps. If you do it as an applique design, it automatically separates it for you. This is just a different way of doing it. Some may say this is more complicated, but this is just how I like to do it. I'm gonna leave the blue one like it, and then I'm gonna change this one to like, let's do an orange. Brown, let's do brown like a sunflower, oh, that'd be cute. Brown, 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 beautiful. So now let's start on the petals. So I'm gonna zoom in, grabbing my space bar to move around, and I'm gonna start like right here, because I am gonna wanna cover it up a little bit. And I'm just clicking, press my space bar and moving around. Booyah, booyah, booyah. Some may say I'm doing too many nodes. I don't really care. And then I'm going to kind of go like this and connect it. Now, closing my outline. That was too many nodes right there at the bottom. So let's zoom in. And this is how you're going to be able to get rid of them. I'm going to tap on it. And I click on the node that I want to get rid of. And I'm going to double click. So 1, 2, 2 clicks. 1, 2. Now let's say I want to add one back. I do the same thing. I've kind of hovered over my line. There we go. You just double click on the line, wherever you want to put it. So I want to get rid of that one. I don't want to get rid of that one. I don't want to get rid of that one. So we're going to do it like that. Then look, I don't like how that one is kind of bowed out. Let's go over here. Bring it in. Booyah. Then I'm going to shorten that a little bit. And it's going to move, and it's okay. I just have to pivot it back. Booyah, booyah, booyah. But these are some things you just have to pick up. But you can figure it out. We all figure it out. And you figure it out by watching videos like this. So now this is still just a line, so there's no stitches. I'm going to change it to a run. Booyah. So then we're going to copy and paste, because I think all the little petals are all the same shape. So now this is how I can move this whole thing, by pressing on the green square. I feel like I probably was really hunching. I feel like I was really hunched over. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm going to click on the blue dot and I'm just going to move this around. A little rotation. Alright, I go a little bit more. Booyah. Sometimes I copy and paste of one I was most recently working on. Competition feels so bad, but ooh, not that bad. Alright, we're going to rotate just a little bit more. Beautiful. Copy and paste. Turn it. Oh, I didn't go far enough. Turn it. Ooh, not that bad. It's so cute already, but it's okay. I'm just going to click back on it and rotate. Grab into my square, bring it around. And that looks, all that looks really good. Grab my space bar to move. So now I want to click on all these. You can click on one and you can press shift and then click down. I think that's just a general thing. I didn't come up with that. And I can copy and paste and make them again. Or you can just, command and click on all of them. Either way, I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to go ahead and change the color on these to pink. It doesn't really matter. Now I can see that technically it's on top here. You see that, right? This is where you can go look at your stitch simulator. So it's going to start off with obviously whatever I design first. Well, I don't want it like that. So I'm going to go back to my select. Well, we know we're going to want this center portion of the flower last. So I'm just clicking on them and then I'm like 2-finger clicking, whatever that is. That's probably a right click on Windows or whatever. And it says I can move it earlier, which will move it up 1 step. I can move it later, which would move it down 1 step. Move first means move it all the way to the top, and then move last means it's going to go all the way down to the bottom. So I'm putting it last because I want that 2 stitch last. I'm gonna do something a little different with the satin border for the petals. I don't want a satin border double. So since I've got my run stitch that's gonna go twice, it will encase those petals for me, for the fabric and everything. I'm only gonna do my satin border just like right here, just this part. There's not gonna be any satin border that's under this area right here. I'm just gonna have it going along the petal. So zoom in, press D if you want, spacebar to move around. And technically if you wanted to do like this, could copy and paste again. All right, so I'm gonna click on this dot right here and I'm gonna do open outline. See what that just did? Get off, get off. And I'm gonna change it to a satin border. Boo, yeah. So now I'm just gonna go in and copy and paste these and move them around. You could do what I just did, just over and over again. That's always, you know, an option. And don't worry, I'm gonna fix these. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix them. I'm going to fix them. We also will have to go back and make sure our lines kind of, you know, line up. With our, we want to make sure like the centers of our satin borders do line up with our run stitches. Okay, let's look at where our runs are. I think that one looks pretty good. That one looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Also, when you're moving, you can kind of see your stitches a little bit better. Oh, also, I'm gonna move this to the end again. See what it looks like then. Move last. Oh yeah, that looks a little bit better. These are kind of poking through. So let's shorten that just a little bit. Probably a little bit more. And this is something when you go to like test it and stuff, you can kind of double check and see like, you know, how your lines actually do. That's still peeping. Get out of here. Get out of here. Who's peeking out? Oh, it's that. That's very simple. So yeah, that's basically a design. And that's like pretty much it, almost. I think like 99% it. So we're gonna kind of look, and there's a lot of like, I can double check to see about where my lines are and everything, where things stop and start and all that kind of good stuff. But overall, that's it. Making 2 runs and then a satin border. It's really not a lot, I promise. Let's go up, we'll look, and let's watch how it's gonna stitch, right? So it's doing that first thing of stitches. So this is where I'll be like, okay, that's where it's gonna stitch. Then I will have put my fabric down now, and it's gonna tack all of that down for those petals, and I bet then it's going into the satin border for those. I probably wouldn't want to do that. I probably wouldn't want my satin border to go. I would probably want my run or the middle portion of the flower to go before that. So I can click and hold. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna click on them and I'm going to scoop them up. This is a lot different than it was on my laptop. Okay, there we go. That did a little bit better. I'm kind of learning while I'm talking. There we go. There we go. There we go. So now let's go back and see. So now it's going to do the outside. I'm seeing where my design's going to go. Now I'm going to put my fabric down and it's stitching it. Then it's like, okay, this is where your center portion of your flower is going to go. So now I'm going to put my fabric down. Booyah. Then it's going to go in and we're going to do the satin border on the petals because I want the very inner portion of my flower to be last, of course. So we're doing all the petals. You can actually just hit play on this and it can go as fast or as slow as you want it. Let's say I wanted it to speed up, and see, it's actually showing me the stitches. This is that 3D button. See, now it's not so 3D anymore and it's just kind of showing you like what it looks like on a computer. So I'll put it back on. Now this is that density map showing you where the most dense spots are. Of course, it's going to be where these lines are kind of meeting, as well as on this. So I would potentially want to try to alleviate some of that density. So you can definitely go in and make a few more changes, make sure things are lined up really nice and perfectly. But that's just it, like the basics of this. Now, if I want to save it, of course, I could go here to file and I could save as, or I could go save right here and I can put, you know, flower, applique, and PES, and I could put it, let's just say, on my desktop. and save. And that's pretty much it. There's of course a lot more to making sure your design is absolutely perfect, you know, going and testing it and all that kind of stuff. But when it boils down to, at the end of the day, you've got your picture. I just pulled this from Canva, by the way. This is nothing fancy. Or let's say you had an SVG, you know, you wanted to do something with. SVGs I think are actually a little bit more simple. On this level of the platform, you cannot use SVGs. You can only do images and then like text and stuff. So you can always upgrade, but I think this is a great level to start out with, especially for beginners. So Applique, it's really not that hard. Don't let it intimidate you. It's 2 runs and a satin border. And of course, if you ever want to see any more videos similar to this, or just have any questions or comments, drop it down below in the comment section. I'd be glad to try to help you out as much as possible. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you guys go follow me on social media. My username is Garcia's Goods. It's very simple. I think I have that for almost everything. I've got all that stuff linked below. And of course, you guys go check out my shop if you want to. I've got really cute items there. I actually like this one. This is Garcia's Goods merch right here. Alright, love you guys. Bye! Oh, that was so crunchy. I'm so glad I got that on film. Testing, 1, 2, 3. It's terrible.